Hi guys, it's Luna and welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to talk about something that I think I've addressed before, but I haven't went into full detail about it because I felt like, people aren't going to be happy about it. But now I don't care. Plus I got a small following, so it doesn't really matter. Today we're talking about Chris Hansen, the Onision investigation, and basically why I think we suck at doing good things, I feel like, on the internet. And this whole thing fucked up because of us, because of the people who chose to put this man on a pedestal. But before I get into that, I should probably explain to people who don't know about this a little bit of information on it. Now let's first go with who's Onision. Onision was a famous YouTuber back in the day, but now he's kind of more infamous. He makes kind of basic commentary-esque content. Sometimes he'll go read an article and talk about it. Sometimes he'll just talk about a specific person or a topic. It really isn't anything too fancy or specific most of the time. Nowadays, though, he mainly just yells and screams and talks about how his life is shitty and how people are attacking him, and that's about it. And I would love to say that, his YouTube channel is dead, but he's actually been uploading on there, which is kind of why I was like, probably should talk about this, because just seeing that kind of irritated me. Now, Onision has been in a lot of scandals. There was a scandal with Shane Dawson. There were scandals with many other creators, like Jaclyn Hill, like so many others. He's pretty much just an asshole who talks about whatever and does whatever. He also used to do skits, but honestly, it's like 10 things, meh. Think of Nicole Arbor, but somehow worse. I feel like Nicole Arbor was mainly just doing it for fame, and you could tell. But with this man, he's doing it for fame and for clicks and for views. But also, like, sometimes you're like, is he dead serious? Oh no, you're serious. Oh, okay. And you can't tell either way. He'll say, oh no, it's just for views. It's not that serious. And then it's like, no, I think you were serious though. But like the main thing we know him for is the grooming allegations against him. It's alleged that he brought women into his house for the sole purpose to groom them and then sleep with them. Now, he hasn't been prosecuted, so we can't say. But like, in my personal opinion, I think we all believe it at this point. And so a lot of people have been talking about it, interviewing the victims, all of these things. And people have been doing this for years. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just now coming up or anything. Like, there have been people that I remember watching that would used to talk about him all the time, all the shady stuff he is doing, all the creepy things that he's doing, all the dangerous things that he has done, all of just all of it. Everything he's ever done ever. And a lot of people were mad, and they're like, we want justice for these victims. We want him in jail. He's not a good person, if anything, but right now we're thinking he's doing something criminal. And so everybody was kind of on the fuck Onision, jail, period, jail. Which I'm like, great, cool, I'm with y'all. And I personally think through all of what happened and all of the buzz behind it, Chris Hansen saw opportunity. And I think that's where he was like, oh, I'm gonna go catch some predators. Now, if you don't know who Chris Hansen is, he is the former host. I feel like I have to emphasize that. The former host of, I think it's NBC. I believe that was the name of the network who To Catch a Predator was on. And I remember watching To Catch a Predator when I was younger. Shouldn't have been watching it, but I remember watching it. It was a very interesting show, but maybe it was just me. It could have just been me who realized that, oh, this is a show. The person that's the host of this show, the person who's literally just reading chat logs out in the show, is not the person behind it. How they tell us that perverted justice, and like they tell us that there were a whole company of people who baited said predators, who sent out decoys, there's a whole company behind the actual work being put into it, and also the work in producing the show itself. Right? Maybe it was just me who peaked that, but that's kind of how it seemed like, because as soon as Chris Hansen got himself involved in the Onision investigation, everybody was floored. They were saying he had connection, that he was the one to be able to do this. Hey, we know him from Catch a Predator. Basically, we know all we need to know about this man who hosted this show. He knows everything he needs to know. He was involved, obviously, in a big way. He really wasn't. My man really wasn't. He, I'm sure, picked up some things from asking around, from being on the show so long and things like that. I'm sure he picked things up, but he's not a professional. He shouldn't be the spearhead for this whole situation. Hell, what would make more sense is him to go back to the companies that were baiting those predators and helping actually arrest them and get all of them involved in the situation. That would be what would make sense. And that's why when I didn't see that happening, when I just saw him going on this whole To Catch a Predator investigation type shit, where he was just basically doing the bare minimum, which was interviewing said victims and gathering information and saying have a great weekend every weekend. I don't know what else he was really doing, but when I saw him doing that, I was like, this seems sketchy. But everybody was like, no, don't do it. The same people that are making videos about him now, about how, oh, he's a scammer, and all the same people were bigging him up just because he used to be the host of a show and he had connections to the FBI. I'm like, a lot of people have connections to the FBI. The police has connections to the FBI. There are hella people, that whole group that was behind the investigation into Catch a Predator. I'm sure they have connections to the FBI. There are a lot of people that we could have counted on, but no. Childhood. I used to watch To Catch a Predator, so that means this guy is good, right? We should just trust him? Okay, alright. And so I'm sitting here like, I don't know if we should be trusting him, but I wasn't gonna say anything because I didn't want to be attacked. I don't think I was even doing YouTube at the time. I wasn't gonna say shit. My lips were sealed. I just wasn't gonna say shit about it. And so I watched him get bigged up for doing something that other YouTubers have been doing for a while and claiming that investigation was going on or all that type of shit. By the way, let me just say this. Just because an investigation is going on or just because someone calls police does not mean something will happen. We hope that something would happen when you call the direct authorities or you bring this to someone that should be able to help's attention, like the authorities. However, doesn't mean that that's what's gonna happen. But people were like, yeah, we can trust him. Off of nothing, by the way. And then the people that are working with him started copyrighting other people's videos, started sending threats. Well, that one dude, I forget his name, but like Vic, I'll put it on screen if I remember. Vic Nicoltra, is that what his name is? He was just wild. He was just being all types of disrespectful to the people who love To Catch a Predator, to the whole TCAP community. He was copyrighting people. He was being disrespectful. I believe he was starting to dox people. It was a whole thing. But they were like, hey, that's him. And as long as Chris Hansen gets rid of him, it's fine. So at one point, after a long time and ignoring what people were saying, he finally got rid of the man. Everybody was like, you know what? He's back at it again. I'm just like, that didn't tell you anything about his loyalty, and that didn't tell you about his... Okay, you know what? Never mind. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it was just me. That's all I was thinking. Maybe it's just me. It was nothing. It's sketchy to me that someone who is in this investigation is so close and is paying so much attention doesn't even know what's happening with the people closest around him that he's working with all the time. But maybe that's just me. It was just suspicious to me. And then now we come to a point where everybody's just like, oh, Chris Hansen is a scammer. He promoted these random products, or he promoted this illegal stuff, or and he's just been shitting on everybody who's criticizing him and all this. And people are really acting surprised. Like, all of the stuff that people have came out and learned about Chris Hansen, all of it is public information. Most of it anyways. Majority of it, let's say that. It's public information. This has been out there forever. Again, this is a host. He didn't do To Catch a Predator because he just loved everything and he just was trying to do this he did it because of a check. and now you all are mad or confused because he's still doing it for a check. Again, I'm sitting here looking at all this, and it's all kind of died down at this point, but I'm looking at all this like, y'all didn't see this before? It was just me? Like, it couldn't have been just me who saw all this coming, right? And again, it irritates me then when I see videos about it, because I'm like, you were those same people not too many months ago that were bigging this man up like he was just gonna save everything. And I'm like, y'all ain't that stupid. Y'all weren't just blissfully ignorant. Y'all were just ignoring it. There were clear signs that this man was not shit. You shouldn't have trusted him as far as you could throw him. And after the whole Vic shit, you should have just been like, nah. But no, it was just me apparently. And so I guess the reason I bring all this back up, or I'm talking about this, is because I've just been seeing a few videos on it that's been popping up in my recommendeds for whatever reason. And it's just like, I keep seeing it portrayed as, oh, Chris Hansen is fucking up the Onision investigation, or he fucked it up, or this, that, and the third. And I'm like, no, we did. He had no loyalty to the situation. But I kept seeing these videos that are basically like, oh, Chris Hansen fucked up the Onision investigation, this, that, and the third happened, the whole investigation is fucked. I'm like, we did that. Why y'all acting like y'all have no responsibility in this matter? We bigged him up. We were the ones defending him when people were saying that he was sketchy. We were ones defending him when he, and let me not even say we, because I didn't do shit like that, but y'all were the ones bigging him up, and then you didn't screen him, or you didn't care because you just wanted this goal achieved by any means necessary without looking at the context and the quality of how it's being done, and how at this point it's not being done. I recently made a video on Yandere Dev again for the second time, and when I made that video, even I realized that even though I don't like Yandere Dev anymore and I don't support his stuff, when it comes to Love Letter, I'm not gonna support them like that either, because they can turn around and do the exact same thing. I don't know them like I don't know Yandere Dev from a can of paint. You could do the exact same thing under the guise that you're gonna be different. I'm gonna trust you, my dude. And so for these people to just trust this man, this host, and get mad at him for just taking money and promoting certain products or saying certain things because of money, that's all To Catch a Predator was for this man. But you're really confused and wondering why that this is the outcome of what happened. Of course the investigation fucked up. I don't think there's an investigation, first of all. I think at this point, he probably gave the information to the proper authorities, but he probably was just like, didn't follow up on it. Probably was just like, someone will do that for me. And when nothing ever came, it was like, well, don't know what to tell you. I don't care this much. I just cared that it got me money. And again, if y'all didn't big him up so much, you wouldn't have to be doing damage control now. Now everybody's trying to say, hey, I know we bigged him up. I know we said all this. I know we did all this. I know we literally had you trusting this man 100%, but now don't believe him anymore. Don't do this. Don't support him. Now you're doing all this while Onision's been uploading, not super regularly, but regularly enough on his YouTube channel again. My man's low-key coming out of hiding. He's been banned from a lot of stuff and not being able to do a lot of stuff, but he's still getting money, right? Like, he's starting to creep his way back in, because now you gotta do damage control, being like, no, don't believe Chris Hansen, where you're not even paying attention to Onision. Low-key, during this whole thing, the whole Onision thing literally just got low-key swept under the rug, and now it's not popular. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it like that. Nobody cares. Why would you care? The only people that I feel like are even going back to this are because it's like, I don't got enough. There's not much to talk about right now. There's not that much drama anymore. The beauty community thing's kind of dying down at this point. Nobody's coming out with any new information. Onision, that's the thing that'll get me views. Like, I get it. I do. But also, like, it's just infuriating. Because, like, people really just didn't care, and they don't care. This is why, stop putting people on a pedestal. Stop putting YouTubers on a pedestal. Stop believing people at face value. This is why I like, do your own research. This is why sometimes in my videos I don't research all of what I can, because I have to do my own at one point. I can't just believe, really, Car? Really? But I can't just believe someone at face value. I can't. This is why. Because people don't even do their own research. People don't care enough, because as long as they get, or they believe they are going to get what they want, they don't care. We all were like, I don't care. I want him in jail. So the first smooth talking person who I think I can trust, I'm going to just big them up to the point where it's going to be hard to tear them back down. That's all I had to say. It was low-key just a rant. I just needed to get this out because it's infuriating to watch. It was infuriating to watch. And now it's to the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't know what to do. As a one person with a small baby channel, I can't do nothing. Everything I say will go on deaf ears. So if you like this video, like it. If you want to subscribe, you can. I'm not a good person. I have shitty opinions sometimes. And sometimes I just rant about random shit. Hey. Hi. Let me pause this. Sorry, some kids came in. Anyways, you should join my Discord server because it's the most active place I am. Or you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. It's in the description below. But I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.